Okay, so we're ready for part 2, and just want to see how biodiversity affects the stability of an ecosystem. So those are two words that you're going to see quite often: biodiversity and stability, and how and what the relationship is between each other. Okay, so evidence of a stable ecosystem. So when you have a stable ecosystem, there are lots of different organisms in the same energy level or role or niche. If there is a disaster or something happens, a disease, a drought, a flood, or it strikes one species, there are other food options to choose from. So everything's in equilibrium, it's in proper balance, and it's not changing. And that's what we call sustainability. So for this is an example of stability here. So there are lots of different species at each role. So that equals a healthier ecosystem. There are more diverse energy levels, and so that is going to equal a more sustainable ecosystem. So it's going to be able to maintain itself. So everything that is in that ecosystem can support all the organisms that live in it. Okay, so looking at this one, which ecosystem is more stable and why? So you have food web A on the left and food web B on the right. You got it, food web A. So food web A shows us a variety of organisms filling the same role. So if something happens and a species dies out, other species can fill that same role. So ecosystem A is better able to handle the environmental stressors. Okay, skip that one. So in general, healthy ecosystems, there are more links, and that equals more stability. So that way, it's able to support all the organisms that live in that ecosystem because it's stable, it's healthy. Ooh, fancy. Okay, so what is a niche? This is an organism's role in its environment. So kind of asking the questions: when does it get to eat? Where will I get food? What do I get to eat? Where do I get to live? So here are some examples of different things that have their own niche. Okay, why is an organism's niche important? Okay, every organism in the ecosystem plays a specific role, and it's used to keep the balance, and they provide resources for other organisms. So if you look at this picture, what's missing here? Right, there aren't any predators here, so these deer are going to overrun this ecosystem. So how does biodiversity support ecosystem stability? So when you have genetic variety, a variety of species, and a variety of ecosystems, that's when you have ecosystem stability. So if something were to happen, that ecosystem can recover easily, and it's like it's business as usual. But why is it important? So the reason that we need healthy ecosystems is for medicine, for recreation and tourism, and it indicates the health of the biosphere. Some quick facts here about different species on Earth. We should be losing maybe one every 5 years, and we're losing way more than that, like 50 per day. And if you click on that link, it will show some hotspots. Okay, and this is how biodiversity is decreased or diminished. So things like habitat loss, overhunting, climate changes, diseases, natural disasters, and invasive species. Ooh, that's a new one we haven't heard yet. Okay. Ooh, these invasive species. Those are rabbits. Wait a minute. So don't these things happen all the time? How do ecosystems stay healthy if there's always stress? Okay, well, if it's more biodiverse, then we have a healthier ecosystem and it's able to sustain itself. Okay, so the more sustainable the ecosystem, the better it is at dealing with stress. Okay, and this is the relationship. So the higher the biodiversity, the higher the sustainability. The lower the biodiversity, the lower the sustainability. Okay.